So EcoFlow is the outdoor power station king of kings. That what I think is the top line, the Cadillac outdoor power equipment. In fact, that's what I got sitting right here. They've been pushing out this thing. In fact, it just started today, this whole disaster preparedness for winter kind of promotion. They're having this sale that runs through the end of February 29th. It's a leap year. But I want to pull it back just a second. I'm not so worried about disasters so much as just losing power. I mean, disasters are bad, but you know what happens more than not? Losing power for an hour or 3 hours or worst case, a couple days. And that's why I want to talk about it, because some people emailed me and I want to say, don't rely on stuff like this. Okay. And a couple of you emailed me, and my first reaction was, well, if you already got the power for it, I mean, this isn't the only one. I'm not picking on Ego here. I actually love the Ego power line, but we've also got, let's see here. We got the Greenworks over here. We got Ryobi. Anybody who's doing one of these power stations here that goes with a battery system that you already have. Now, if you're using it for on job site power, that's fine. That may be what you want to do. But I just want you to follow the math with this on me, or with me on this, because these are using lithium ion batteries, which are great for power tools, but not great for power stations. And I'm going to explain here why in a minute. And when you look at this, you can put 4 batteries on it, and you probably already have the 4 batteries. So this is just $600 out of pocket for this, and you got access to 3 110s, a bunch of USBs. If you want to do the solar charging, you got to buy an extra thing and all that, but that's fine. And then was that $600? I think for $600 also you can get the Greenworks. It can take 4 batteries. You only get 2 of the 110s though, and you still get a slew of USBs. And then Ryobi's got the 3 110s. It's got a bunch of USBs. It's got a bunch of little features built into it. It's a great little system. You pop your batteries on. They're 40 volt, not the 18 volts. They're 40 volts. And then you're ready to rock and ready to go. It's $650, but it goes on sale every so often. Here's the deal, and this is where my math is cutting into it and why I'm saying that really you want to go with something like this one here. Now, let me give you a little tour around it. I just pulled this one out of my truck. Now, full disclosure, EcoFlow sent this to me about a year ago, and it's been in my truck ever since. So let's take a look at it. Well, as you can see on that, it's got 4 USB-A, it's got 2 USB-Cs, it's got 6 110 outlets, it's got solar charging built in, it's got fast charging built in, but it's got something that none of these other ones have, and that is it's got LiFePO 4 batteries. Now, what that means is it's using a different chemistry. Don't get worried about, whether it's got like 6 grams of carbs or whatever the formula is, the recipe. The point is that LiFePO 4 batteries act differently. They're not good in a power tool you're going to carry around because they don't have that super high discharge rate, and they're also bigger. So they're not as good for a power tool, and that's totally fine. But the reverse is true also, because here's what LiFePO 4, let's talk about some of the issues. Let me back up. So with lithium ion, if you discharge it all the way, like you might do with a power station, that's bad for lithium ion. If you're going to recharge it a whole bunch of times and use it all the time, like say you're going to want to use the system like a UPS, bad for lithium ion. What if you need to use extreme temperatures, really low up to super hot? Bad for lithium ion. LiFePO 4, he don't care. He's the honey badger of batteries. You want to discharge all the way? I don't care. You want to discharge 6 times more than the lithium ion, maybe even more? He don't care. You want to use them in super cold or super hot weather? Again, he doesn't care, because it's the way the tech is, the chemistry. It's the way the chemistry is designed. Now, actually, I think this is older tech than lithium ion, and it kind of sat on a back shelf till a bunch of people went, that's still actually pretty good for other use cases. They're putting them in electric cars. They're doing all sorts of stuff because it meets a different tool set, if you will, no pun intended. So let's talk about it. Like if you're looking at any one of these 4, we're going to say like you've already paid for the batteries. They're being used for something else. So you're getting those batteries for free in this math situation. Okay. $650. What do you have to pay more to go with the Cadillac? Now, this is Ryobi's the entry level. If you want to go with the Cadillac there, you're going to spend Well, you're going to spend $50 more. For $50 more, you get all the battery built in and more battery. You get more power. Okay, this thing's going to run at least a third longer watt hours wise than you're going to get out of the Ryobi. You're going to get the surge power and the same kind of steady power as you're going to get out of all the other ones. You're going to get more connections on the front, more connections on the back. You're going to get faster charger, built-in solar, and you get the LifePo 4 batteries, which means it's going to last at least 6 times longer, which means you're not wasting your tool batteries. That's important. This is, I'll be honest, when it first came out and they were like, you can use your tool batteries with your outdoor power equipment. I'm like, that's great. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, now I'm using my tool batteries because they're a disposable. Is that not the word? I can't think of the word, but they get used up. And so you only have so many recharges in them. If I'm using them for other things, that's less I can use them in my tools. I would rather buy a dedicated battery that's built for that job, that can do that job better. And that's what LifePo 4 here is. Now, EcoFlow's not alone in this, all right? A lot of companies that do this power station, we've talked about it before, they're all switching over to LifePo 4. In fact, the old EcoFlow, if it just says like EcoFlow Delta and then doesn't have the 2 behind it, those are lithium-ion batteries. So these are the new Delta 2s. So they all have the upgrade, and everyone else is doing that too. If you want to look at somebody else or something cheap or something, that's on you. But I can tell you this: if you've been around the channel, you know a ton of companies have sent me power stations. I've done dozens of reviews on these, if not more, and I've got them all sitting around. I got a stack of them sitting over there. And when it came to leaving one in my truck, I chose the Delta. And there's something else I've done, which is I've powered my entire studio off of one because we get brownouts. I'm up here in Montana. We're kind of a rural area, and brownouts and powerouts, they go out all the time. We were doing a live stream 2 weeks ago. I didn't know it. The power went out, but my whole studio was running. Let me show you what we're doing. Yeah, the cabling's a mess. I apologize. But I'm going to tackle it. But we just moved into the new studio. We still have the shop, but it's cold winter. We got a studio in here now, so we can do proper filming. Look at, we got lighting and stuff. Don't we look like professionals? Anyway, the point is that we're still getting our feet on the ground in here and still trying to figure out where everything goes. But that cart holds my computer, all the power connections, everything, and then one power cable goes to the wall from here. And what that does is that it works as an uninterruptible power supply. That's the other thing. Even if you tried to do that with the other ones, they would be peaking. The battery kind of dips. It has to keep it at full charge so that when the brownout happens or the power out happens, you're ready to go. Guess what lithium ion batteries don't like? Constantly being charged to max capacity. Guess what LifePo 4 thinks? You don't care. Anyway, so we got this whole setup here, and I can unplug, I can move everything around. And think about this. Your business, your shop, what are you doing? Are you in a situation where, hey, if I lose power, I'm losing money? That's billable hours. Are you not getting stuff done? Not just at home. I know EcoFlow is doing this whole disaster preparedness thing, and they're really pushing it. And sorry, I'm checking. I want to make sure I got the dates and everything right. So yeah, it's going on now through February 29th. And you can use my code. They gave me a code. I'll put the code down below, and you get a percentage off if you use that code on everything except for flash sales and except for the new Delta Pro Ultra, that's the big boy there. And again, it's good until February 29th. But let me ask you this, does it math for you? I mean, honestly, if it's $50, if you're going to spend $650, why not spend $700 and half power you can take with you. Half power you can use on a UPS. I have the smaller one, the River, and I think that's on sale too. You can check it on their website. But I keep that at home plugged into my CPAP that I have to use. That way, if the power goes out at home at night, I don't wake up, gasping for breath because it kicks in and runs it. There's a lot of cases, a lot of situations. Honestly, I've got to the point where I plug almost everything into one of these boxes because, power goes out. I don't care. I got a 140-year-old house. Power's kind of sketchy. But you know what? With one of these, it's always there. It's always clean. It's always pure sine wave. And I'm always safe and protected. What is your solution? What are you doing? Anyway, the link's down below. This is not, as I said, it's not a sponsored video, but they have sent us stuff in the past. They're going to send us stuff in the future. They're a great company. I love working with them, but I want you guys to know that way, if you want to take it with a grain of salt, you can do that. You don't want to use my links because they're affiliate links. You can do that. You want to buy a different brand, you can do that. But what I am going to say is don't waste your tool batteries, and also be prepared. The winter's pretty nasty, and it might even get worse. So we're not at spring yet, even though I wish. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. If you like what we do here, why don't you go ahead and chomp the old like button, smash the subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.